Hey everybody, it's Aidan here once again, and welcome to some Euro Truck Simulator. Now, bear with me here because there is a purpose to being in Euro Truck. Now, if you're a follower of this channel and have been a follower of this channel for some time, you'll know that up until recently I was using a Logitech Driving Force GT steering wheel, and just after Christmas I decided that if I was going to start taking the channel seriously and start taking sim racing seriously, I thought I would upgrade to some better gear, stuff that was going to be more consistent and be there when I needed it when I was racing. So I bought a T300, and it's the one with the Ferrari, I think it's the 458 rim, I think. But anyway, we're here driving just outside of Birmingham, getting onto the M6, and oh, there you go, the Rozzers. Birmingham is pretty much where I live, in the middle of the United Kingdom. So we're just getting on the M6 here to go up to Manchester, and the point being, and the reason we're in Euro Truck right now, I'm not actually driving live, I'm recording this afterwards so I can figure out what it is I need to say, is that with the Driving Force GT, and one of the key complaints I had about driving with the Driving Force GT, I mean it was a very good wheel, don't get me wrong, was that you had to almost guess how much steering input you needed, and every lap it would be different. So going around Bathurst in a V8 supercar or in a Formula Renault or something like that, that was fine because the car wasn't fast enough. You could sort of guess how much you needed before you got to the corner. In anything faster, that became a problem, and that's why in things like Formula 1 cars I was so inconsistent and always crashing and all that stuff. But now that I've progressed to a better quality wheel, I've also got better quality pedals, specifically the brake pedal and the gas pedal. The gas pedal is very different, as is the brake pedal. So what I figured I need to do now is I need to relearn how to drive. The thing being, I've got one-to-one steering, meaning that the amount of steering I put in is the amount of steering I get in game. It's one-to-one, it's exactly how I need it. It wasn't like that on the Driving Force GT. So what I plan to do in this video is that we're going to go to a track in R Factor 2, we're going to drive around in a Skip Barber, a Formula Ford, that sort of thing, and basically relearn how to drive. Get used to the brake pedal, brake into corners without locking up, and get out the corner without spinning the rear end out, because while I have been doing the Assetto Corsa Hot Lap Challenge, and I've pretty much given up on that because I can't go any faster, that car had traction control. I can just stamp on the throttle and get out of the corner. But in something like a Formula 1 car from 2013 onwards, don't have traction control. I've got to be really careful when putting the throttle down. I need to relearn how to do that. So that's what we're doing. I think that's pretty much all I need to say. But if you really want to know how they are in comparison, I might as well tell you now, but the best way I could describe the difference between the Driving Force GT and the T300 is with these two pizzas that you can see on the screen. The one on the left, which is the cheese and tomato pizza, is the Driving Force GT. It serves its purpose, it fills you up, but it's not particularly exciting because it's inconsistent with the flavour. You either get one that's got really good flavour because they get the right amount of cheese and tomato, but on the other hand, a lot of the time it's just ugh. But the other pizza, which is the barbecue chicken and bacon one, that's the Thrustmaster T300. It does the same job, but it's packed full of flavour, and it's just more exciting when the flavour's been there all the time, and every pizza tastes so nice, and it smells so nice, and oh my god, it was so tasty! But I hope you can see where I'm coming from. So, without messing around too much, let's get down to a track somewhere. I think we'll probably go to Donington Park or something like that, in a Skip Barber, and relearn how to drive. Okay, so, I understand that the man is there trying to tell us where to go. I'm just going to have a quick sip of drink before I do anything else. And this is where the actual review part of the wheel actually starts. I'll put a timestamp so you can get to this point. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, we're going to drive around Donington in the Skip Barber and basically just get used to this brake pedal without having the anti-lock brakes turned on. And the idea is that we're going to drive around, do about 10 laps in the Skip Barber, and then jump into something like the Formula Renault and really see what we can do without spinning. So, let's go. This is the first time I've ever driven the Skip Barber as well. So, forgive me if I crash. I think I've got to do my own blipping in this car as well. No rubber on track either. Coming down through the crane of curves. Old hairpin. That's the satisfying click you get with the gear shift. Whoa. I've turned it into a rally car. Sorry, I thought I just saw something out the corner of my eye, but I'll have a look in a minute. But I can tell you now that it's so much easier to save. It feels like I'm driving the actual car. I mean, the force feedback I've got on about, I think it's 85%. Actually, I don't think it's even that. I think it's in the 60s, but it's more than enough. It doesn't feel overpowering. It feels realistic to me. Now, what feels realistic to me will probably feel different to everybody else. And since I drive cars for a living, it's my job to know about cars. Oh god, the weight transfer in this thing. I know what certain cars should feel like. I know what a Range Rover should feel like. I know what an Audi should feel like. I know what a Mercedes should feel like. Okay, a little bit different to a trainee race car. But I've actually driven around Donington on one of these drive days, so I know what the track should feel like, and it feels like it should, to me. As the sound cuts out, the word sim is a lie. Perception and feel. But that's not a good name for this category of computer gaming. Don't have that noise as you go across the curb. I think I mentioned that in the previous video. That was the other thing, is that if my other half was trying to sleep and I was racing, it didn't half wake her up. I can get a bit harder on the brakes now. I don't think I've flat spotted anything. I did that time though. So in terms of the feel of the steering, it's putting up a resistance, but it's not overly heavy. I'm not going to try and turn into a corner. Oh yeah, I have flat spot in my tyres. Okay. But now that the tyres have warmed up, and the brakes therefore should have warmed up, we should be okay now. And what I've read, Skip Barbers are supposed to be slidey. They're supposed to react to lack of weight transfer. Coasting through a corner in a Skip Barber is a big no-no. And like I say, they're designed to do that. And it's designed in such a way that it allows you to develop skills that you should have instinctively. That's what I read. Not using full brake power. It's probably the reason I locked up. Oh god. So I just got an itchy cheek. You sort of got to feather your throttle and get all that weight distribution going on. A setup would probably help as well, but I'm also driving in shoes. I didn't normally drive in shoes before. I'll take a picture of what I'm wearing and put it up. I'm basically wearing my old indoor football boots. So I used to play a bit of football when I was at university, and since I don't really play football anymore, I've got to put them to use. And they're lightweight, they're comfortable. But I'm not fighting the car. You know, I've turned the wheel once, and there it is. So I'm going to feather the throttle. And out the other side, what's my timing like? Takes a bit of getting used to. But I absolutely love this thing. I also forgot to mention that the T300 base is interchangeable with different types of wheels. And when I pulled the actual wheel rim out of the box, helps if you know what gear you're in, I was like, God, this is heavy. But when it's actually on the actual base and connected up, you don't feel it. Feels no heavier than the Logitech. A bit bigger. And for that reason, it's a lot more comfortable. Drifter! That was probably a lock-up, wasn't it? We'll do this last lap, and then we'll jump into the Formula Renault. Or maybe even the Formula 3. Not the Formula 3. GP3. So I drive the Formula Renault a lot. Yeah! I've got to spend some more time in this car, I think. Or maybe I should get Automobilista and drive the Formula V. But even though it's still a... no. Alright, let's jump into something else. Okay. Charles Leclerc. My French is terrible. His GP3 car from 2 years ago now. Living time's gone quick. And away we go out the pit lane. Don't know why I'm checking my mirrors, there's nobody else on track. But feed the power, there we go. Cutting the curves much quicker through here. Feed it on again. Use all the curb. Now, I kind of accelerated time in the Skip Barber. I didn't want you to watch me crash that. Oh, God. A few times. Panel damage. Brilliant. Alright, let's do a time lap then. See if we can do it without. Whoa. That was a bit too aggressive on my application and my power. Trying to find my racing lines. Tyres don't look damaged. There we go, fed it on. $124. Too deep that time. I wish that would stop happening. Don't know why it does. Steering feels a bit lighter in this car as well. But now I know how the car handles. Lap times are consistent at least. Chopping off little tiny bits here and there. All with default setup as well. Tyres are just fine. Oops. Trial braking through the final corner. Front end slide, but I felt it, so I was able to correct much sooner. That's why I love this wheel. But I thought I'd spend some time with it before I did a review. Oh. It's not really a review, is it? Ah, that's because I braked too late rather than anything else. Right, now, before I wrap this video up, I want to find that thing that I saw. I saw something in the Skip Barber and I'm going to try and find it. There it is. Well, it's not the same one, but it's what I saw. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Ah, it's amazing. I didn't realise that was actually there. That is so cool. Alright. Some overall thoughts on the Thrustmaster T300. Massive upgrade from what I had before, and yeah, I hope it serves me well. And a lot of people saying that these things blow up way too easily. Well, that's because you've been running your force feedback at 100% and you've ruined the motor. But anyway, I hope that's a good insight into how much of a difference that upgrading, how much of a difference upgrading your gear can make to your driving. That was way more consistent than I ever was in the Logitech, and with a bit more practice I could probably get even better. But if you want to see if I can, subscribe to my channel. Hey, it's a good little plug. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. What else have I got coming up? On Friday, well, yeah, when I upload on Friday, it'll be the story of Andrea Moda, the worst F1 team, I think, in history. So, yeah, remember to stick around for that one. And until next time, I've been Aidan Millward. Have a great day wherever you live in the world, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.